So good morning. Today we will be discussing about the sewage pumping. So what does mean by sewage pumping? So sewage pumping is nothing but first initially the sewage water is being transferred into the wastewater treatment plant, and then if you have to pump the sewage from one point to, that means a lower elevation to the higher elevation, we must use the pumps where the gravity flow is not feasible. So at that time we are pumping from the lower down level to the higher down level. So that one we will call it as a sewage pumping. So it is primarily used to conveyance the wastewater plant from low level to the higher level. So objectives of sewage pumping. So it is primarily done to transport the sewage efficiently and to avoid the topographical constraints and problems, and to prevent the sewage from overflowing into the other drains, and maintain the uninterrupted or any obstructions of wastewater flow, and thereby reducing the environmental pollution. So why sewage pumping is required? So as we all know, in the diagram we can able to see that there is a house in the left side and the pumping station which is below the level of the house. So and then we have to transfer the wastewater from the pumping station to the wastewater treatment plant. So for that purpose, to avoid the low-lying area to move the water in the high level area, so we must use the pumping. And also in case of crossing a river or highways from one end to another end, we have to use the sewage pumping. And also for the longer distance sewage transportation, and in case of higher groundwater table, we must do the sewage pumping, and then avoid the deep excavations. So what are the components of sewage pumping station? So we all know that the pumping station primarily requires the pumping unit, that is the high submersible pumps with high efficiency. So other than that, there are some of the major components which are there. So first is inlet sewer, where the sewage water is being received, and then screening chamber to protect the flow of debris or the flow of any other material inside the the floating matter into the low-lying area, and then wet well and dry well. So wet well is the place where the sump part will be there, and dry well is the place where the floating debris and also the sludge will be collected, and both will having the wastewater, but primarily it will deals with the only the wet well. So here the sump is being provided, and then it is being pumped. Then rising of main. So main pipe is nothing but it is an inlet from the sewage pump to the wastewater treatment. Then control valves, control panel, level sensors, backup power supply, and proper ventilation system to remove the gases which is being developed. So working principle. So initially the sewage water enters into the wet well, and then the wastewater accumulates until the present level is reached. Once the present level is reached, the automatic float valve or level sensor will get activated, the pump. Then pump lifts the wastewater and some amount of minute sludge which is available in the wastewater through the forced main. Then it will reach the treatment plant or gravity sewers. Once if the level is being reduced, means the sensors will stop and the pump will stop automatically, and the water flow is restricted. So types of sewage pumping stations. So types of sewage pumping is nothing but wet well pumping station, dry well pumping station, and package pumping station.